Nope. Walking on our mat. Hi, everybody. This is Stacy. Super excited for some core stability this Wednesday morning. We're going to start with standing today, and we're just going to start by walking on our mat. And as you're doing that, just kind of roll your shoulders out a little bit. Maybe roll your shoulders back and forward, and just kind of start to shake things loose a little bit as you walk around on your mat. We're just going to bring our attention and focus to what we're doing today, which is core stability. We're going to just be moving our bodies in a way that's very aligned and strengthening that foundation. A lot of the terms I'll use today are core, obliques, and then I usually say don't rock the boat. And again, that all comes down to like having a really strong foundation. Some of the movements today will have range of motion, and I'll tell you to go into a greater depth of range of motion or to lessen it based on how your body's responding. And so as we go through today, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. And so we're just really working out those different muscles to kind of, again, just gain more strength in our core. And our core is almost our whole body, but it wraps around from our belly all the way to our back. And so it's just really important to the foundational mobility of our bodies. Now that we've kind of just loosened up a little bit, I want you to just stand on your mat, and you can have your feet wider than shoulder width apart for this one. You can place your hands on your hips, have a nice slight knee bend, and we're just going to do some pelvic rocks back and forth. So you're going to tuck that pelvic floor up, basically sucking, almost like sucking in your belly button, pushing that belly button to your spine. And then you're going to push your belly out and then push your glutes out and just rock back and forth. So basically expanding and contracting your pelvic floor just to get that ready for what we're going to be doing after our warm-up. I really like to make sure that our pelvic floor is warm and ready to go. We're going to do a little bit of like side hip kind of tilts in a second. Especially today with kind of what I have lined up for us, I want to make sure that our core is already warm before we really get into the workout. All right, now you're just going to do a pelvic tilt side to side. So just nice and slow. You don't have to go fast. I want you just to open up that lower spine, open up that lower pelvic floor. Again, we're just warming up our body. It's not meant to be fast. Just kind of bringing all that attention and our focus into what we're doing now. So we're going to leave whatever we were doing just before this out the door. And on our mat, we're just focused on our body, listening to it and seeing how it responds today. Every day is different. Sometimes we're a little more sore. Sometimes we're more mobile. So we want to kind of just allow our body to show up as it is and then do the workout accordingly. And now I just want you to go into some pelvic hip circles. So don't bend forward super far. Just tilt your pelvic floor forward and back as you just do some circles, keeping those knees slightly bent. Not really worried about like kind of moving your shoulders forward and backward or hinging at the hip, just rotating that pelvic floor. Go ahead and go the opposite way. Good. And then if you want to now, you can do some figure eights. I almost forgot what they were called. And I feel like we should be pretty good on just getting that pelvic floor nice and opened. And we're going to do some alternating toe touches in just a few seconds. Good. Go ahead and shake those hips out. Just wiggle a little bit. Let's take those arms up to shoulder width height or shoulder height, palms facing down. We're going to do some rotating torso twists or torso toe touches. So take that right hand. I want you to hinge at the hips. So lean forward and reach those right fingertips towards your left toe. As you go down to touch, let your head follow your left hand in the air. Hold for about 2 seconds, then come back up and then go to the other side. Left hand goes to right toes and my head follows my right hand in the air. So just getting some really good torso twist flexion. If you also feel better not going all the way down to like reaching your fingertips towards your feet, you can also lessen that depth and just really focus on twisting that torso, trying to get that torso flexion and that twist a little bit deeper each time. Again, we're readying the spine now. We got that foundation of our pelvic floor ready. We're activating our lower glutes and hamstrings, and then also that spine. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. We're going to take our hands and put them behind our head, elbows nice and wide. Our feet can stay in the same position. Just bend those knees slightly. We don't want to ever lock our knees out because we don't want to stop blood flow. So keep a slight knee bend. You can grind, or not grind, but rub your toes into the ground or into your mat to feel a nice stable foundation. My hands are behind my head. My elbows are nice and wide. And I'm just going to twist to the right and really twist, trying to reach that right elbow behind your back on the right-hand side. Come back to center and then do the same thing on the left side. So just isolating the movement a little bit more to just go a little bit deeper into that torso flexion. Again, getting us ready for what we're going to be doing in a little bit when we're on all fours. If you were not here when I mentioned this, we're going to be on our back for a few different types of series today, but we are starting standing, and then we also will be on all fours, not for a big amount of time, but we'll kind of be moving from standing to that all fours to then on our back, but most of the class will be on our back today. Go ahead and finish in 3, 2, 1. Drop those arms. Let's bring our feet together and just shake out our arms a little bit. You can have your feet hip width distance or whatever's comfortable. We're going to just do some calf raises. Your hands can be on your hips. We're going to gently lift our weight up onto the balls of our feet, and then we'll slowly come back down. What I want you to do before you come back down is notice if your ankles are rolling outward, not like actually rolling your ankle, but just see where when the weight lifts up, what your feet do. And if you feel a little unstable, or if your ankles are a little wobbly, just don't lift up as high. Only go as high as stable as your ankles are. Or you can slow it down and just be really intentional with those calf raises and trying to keep everything locked in as you go up and as you come down. I noticed on my first 2, it's like the first time I've done a calf raise today, right? And so I'm a little like, ooh, I'm a little wobbly. So I just slowed that motion down, really brought my focus to my ankles and made sure that I was going up as slow as I was coming down. And my ankles and feet tend to pronate, so they tend to roll to the outside, and my weight shifts that way. So I have to be really focused on keeping my ankles and my knees in line. Oops, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. I want to get some arm movement in, but I also want to do some work at the same time. So we actually are going to start a little bit of our squat series, but this one is going to be more of a, I don't know, kind of like a dance move, if you will. So take those feet out nice and wide. I'm sure it's called something. I don't remember though. So we're going to go feet out nice and wide. You can have your feet out at a 45-degree angle. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our arms as we go down to squat. So I want you to have your hands kind of like your wrists crossed in front of each other, if you will. As you squat down, you're going to bring those hands up over your head, reaching up towards the sky. And then as you come back up, your hands are going to swoop down, and your wrists will cross again. And you're just basically almost like a snow angel, but I guess you're just squatting instead of bringing your legs out wide. You're just bringing those arms up and down, sweeping up and down in a very graceful motion. As you squat, you don't have to go super deep. You can work that depth in. We're just opening up those hamstrings a little bit more, engaging our glutes, and opening up our like underarm area. And again, just kind of moving that lymphatic system. And we're breathing. I like to inhale on the way down and exhale as I'm pushing through a movement. So as I squeeze my glutes and push through my heels, I come back up. Just a nice nice fluid motion with our arms. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's walk those feet back together. Don't worry, that's not all our squats for the day, but I want to just do one forward fold so that we can get our upper back stretched out a little bit. And then we're going to jump right into our flow, which is going back to squats. So let's bring our feet in hip width. We're going to do that forward fold. Inhale. As you exhale, bring those hands up nice and tall above the head. And before you go into that forward fold, reach those fingertips up towards the sky. Pretend that there's a ladder. You're trying to climb each rung of the ladder up and up. Stretching that spine, almost like someone's tugging on your tailbone, but someone's pulling your hands up towards the heavens. And we're just stretching that spine. Inhale. Exhale, slowly come out into that forward fold. Reaching out and away from your body, up towards your toes. Good. And just let your head hang and let gravity do the work. For 5, 4, 3, inhale. Exhale, slowly come back up. Beautiful job. All right, let's do some squats, everybody's favorite. So for our squats today, what I want you to do is do a narrow stance. So we're going to start with a narrow stance today. And so just shoulder width distance. If you have bad knees or it's just uncomfortable, feel free to take your squat out wide and you can angle those feet outward. So we're going to just do some narrow stance squats today, but you can do this in a sumo squat position. It is okay. So with that narrow stance and our feet pointing forward or that option of the sumo squat, we're just going to rep squats. So we're going to do kind of that method I love, which is we rep the squats going up and down, maybe hold for about 2 seconds in that down position. Then our next rotation will be the 4-4-4 method, which I'll explain, and then we'll do some pulsing. So for squats, you can have your feet in praying hands in front of your chest. I like to do that as I press my palms together to keep my back nice and straight, or you can have your hands on your hips. Inhale, exhale, and go ahead and go down into that squat, sitting back. So pushing those glutes back, keeping that chest up, going up and then down at your own pace. I want everyone to try to get in about 8 reps. You can do more, of course, but just go at your own pace. We're just really making sure that foundation is nice and activated, that core is activated. You're going down nice and slow. And then again, as you come up, that resistance is just as slow. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. Now we're going to do that 4-4-4 method. So that's where we inhale, we exhale and come down for a 4 count. And then we hold for 4 at our lowest depths. And then we come up for 4. And I'll walk you through it. So same squat pose. Inhale, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4, and up 2, 3, 4. Inhale, exhale, down 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4, and up 2, 3, 4. Inhale, exhale, and down. Keeping those knees nice and straight. Try not to have them wobble too much. And hold for 2, 3, 4, and up. Push through those heels, really keeping those knees in line with your hips. You don't want your knees to shake too much, or if you're in a sumo squat, you can push your knees out, but when you're in a narrow squat, you don't want your knees to wobble. Inhale, exhale, down 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4, and up 2, 3, 4. One more time. Inhale, exhale, down 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4, and up 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and shake out your legs a little bit. We're going to do our pulsing next. So you're going to meet in the middle of the top of your squat and the bottom of your squat. And we're going to hold in that middle position to pulse. And all pulsing is, especially in a squat, is you're pushing through your heels to make your glutes go up 1 to 2 inches. And you're just kind of bouncing there. So really activating our quads and our hamstrings in that middle position of our squat. So I'll coach you through it. Inhale. Exhale, go all the way down into your squat. Now come halfway up and begin pulsing. So just squeeze your glutes and just bounce a little bit with the weight on your heels, up and down. We're going to do this for about 20 seconds. Keep that back straight. Make sure you're sitting back in the chair, just activating those glutes a little bit more. Really trying to just give them a good workout for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and walk it out. Good job. There's our squats. I know you love them so much. If you guys need to grab a drink of water, you can. Beautiful. Excuse me. All right. And I want to just do a little bit of arm movement. So you can put your feet in whatever position you want. I'm going to have mine just wider than shoulder width apart. I want to make sure our core is engaged, so tuck that pelvic floor in. And we're just going to do an arm movement kind of with similarly to the squats with the 4-4-4 method and the pulsing, but it'll just be slightly different. So let's make goalpost arms. So arms in a goalpost are cactus, palms facing out. If you have weights, you can put weights in your hands. Sorry, I should have said that first. And this is going to be where we're going to do our military press or a press up. You're going to press those fingertips up towards the ceiling, looking straight ahead, and then you're going to come back down, elbows not going below your shoulders. So just doing press ups right now, and you're just repping them. Again, I want you to call attention to that abdomen and that core. Make sure that your glutes aren't sticking out as you're doing this. Tuck your pelvic floor in so that your core is engaged. I just realized I'm not playing any music. I'm so sorry. I'll put that on in a second. You guys just had to hear me the whole time. Sorry. And just keep pressing up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. We're going to now do the press up with the 4-4-4 method. So if you have weights, this might be a little bit more challenging, but still it's just really engage that core. So engage our core. Hands and goalpost arms, palms facing forward. Inhale, exhale, up, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. Squeeze those shoulder blades together to push those elbows back a little bit. Inhale, exhale, up, 2, 3, 4. Hold and squeeze. 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. Good. Keep those arms up. Inhale, exhale, up, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. 2 more times. Squeeze those elbows together. Oh, tuck that pelvic floor in. Make sure your core is engaged. It should be an interesting sensation when your elbows are squeezed together and your core and your pelvic floor is tilted up. Inhale, exhale, up, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. Last time, squeeze everything together. Inhale, exhale, up, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. Beautiful job. Go ahead and shake out those arms. So for our pulses, a little bit different. Instead of goalpost arms, bring those arms to the side, palms facing down. My arms should be in level with my shoulders. You're just going to pulse up 1 to 2 inches. So basically my fingertips are going towards the ceiling 1 to 2 inches. Inhale, exhale, palms facing down, arms in a T, and pulse up. Just pulse those arms. We're going to go for 30 seconds. So just a little bit different, but we're still working our our upper arms and our, I'm just forgetting the name, our rotator cuffs, not our biceps, our shoulders, our subscapularis. So just really working those. We got about 10 seconds left. Check that core. If your butt's sticking out, engage it, tuck that pelvic floor in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake out those arms. Hopefully you felt that in those arms. Good. We are now going to all fours to do some bird dogs. And then we're going to go to our back. So if you need to grab a sip of water, go ahead. Otherwise, we're going to go on all fours. If being on your knees is challenging, I will give an option for slightly being on your hip. So you don't have to quite stand for this. But we're going to go on all fours. Wrists, elbows, and shoulders are in line. And my knees are shoulder or hip width distance, excuse me. And before we start our bird dogs, I want you just to do a little bit of cat-cow. So inhale, exhale to cow. So let that belly hang, releasing that pelvic floor. Head goes up to the ceiling. As you exhale, you can go into cat pose, reaching that spine up towards the ceiling, tucking your pelvic floor, and tucking your chin to chest. I want to hear you breathe, even though all of you are muted. I want to hear you breathing and really working to get into that cat stretch position. Go ahead and exhale, let the belly hang, your head goes back. Good. And just rotating in between. Good. All right. We're going to go into bird dogs. And so I'm going to give 2 options here. So the first option is you can have your opposite arm and leg go out. So if your right arm goes up, your left leg goes out and back. So you're lifting your arm and your leg at the same time. Opposition helps with balance. And then if you want to see if you can advance, you can do the same leg and same arm at the same time, then shifting your weight to the other leg, the other side of your body. So your choice. Options are bird dog with right arm goes out, left leg goes back, and then switching, left arm goes up, right arm goes back, or right leg goes back, And then if you want an additional challenge, shifting that weight to one side and lifting your right arm and right leg together, and then coming down. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, begin that bird dog, really engaging that core as you lift up and out, and then slowly coming back down. Nice and slow and intentional. I want you to be looking through the mat, not up. So keeping that spine in neutral position, looking straight through the mat, just lifting and engaging that core as those legs go out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. We're not quite done with these. So instead of the 4-4-4 method, we're actually going to hold for 4 on each side. So depending on if you're doing, both arm and leg on one side or alternating, you're going to hold it for 4 seconds. Inhale, exhale, go ahead and lift your arm and leg in the way that you choose and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, return to mat. Inhale, exhale, lift on the other side and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, exhale, opposite side and up, 2, 3, 4, and come down, 2, 3, 4. Other side, up and hold, 2, 3, 4, and down, 2, 3, 4, and up, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and relax. For the pulses for this one, we're going to do about 10 seconds on each side. And so you're going to go into that up position on whichever side and whatever choice you've made. And we're gonna just go into like the highest position we can with our leg and our arm while keeping a strong foundation. And then you're gonna pulse 1 to 2 inches up. So just little contractions up towards the ceiling in that full position. Inhale, exhale. We're gonna go up, hold that position and pulse. We're going for about 10 seconds. You're just contracting those muscles up towards the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back down. Good. Other side. Inhale, exhale, up. Find that position and pulse. Good. We're only going to do this one more time on each side. I wanted to get about 20 seconds for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come down. Beautiful job. Going back to that first side. Inhale, exhale, engage that core. Find that highest position and pulse. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back down. Last time, inhale, exhale, arms and leg go up, and we're pulsing, contracting those muscles up towards the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower yourself to the ground. We're gonna do some cobra pose before we flip over on our backs. Good. My hands are flat on the ground. My thumbs are aligned with my armpits or my underarms. Inhale, exhale, lift your chest up towards the ceiling, looking up to the sky, and just hold that cobra pose. If you want, you can walk your hands back a little bit to get a deeper stretch in that lower abdomen. Up to you. And as we come down, not yet, just make sure you keep those elbows tucked to your chest. Inhale, exhale, slowly come down, elbows tucked to chest. Wonderful. We're gonna lay on our backs now, my friends. On your backs with your feet flat on the floor. As I said, the majority of class is on this, kind of in this position. So I want you to get nice and comfortable. I'm just gonna adjust my mic. Okay. Just because I feel like when I'm on the floor, sometimes I like rub my mic against the clothing, so it might distort my voice a little. Okay, my feet are flat on the floor. You can move those feet closer to your glutes or scoot your glutes down. My palms are facing down at my sides. We're just gonna do some pelvic rocks before we go into some hip bridges. So go ahead and push your pelvic or push your tailbone into the ground, creating a C curve. Your pelvic floor is kind of shifting down towards your glutes in the small of your back. Now you're gonna rock that pelvic floor up, tucking that belly button to your spine. And these are kind of the extreme positions, going back and forth. So we're just doing those pelvic rocks. Go ahead and go back and forth. These are the extreme positions. These aren't neutral spine. So when I say neutral spine, what that means is I want your tip to your tail, so your head to your tailbone, to be in one long line. When we engage our core, we should have a neutral spine. We don't want to be pelvic rocking our floor, rocking our pelvic floor too far with that belly button going to the spine. So finding that neutral spine is important. So go ahead and find your neutral spine, which is the halfway between the points of those rocks. We're gonna just do regular hip bridges where we're just repping out our hip bridges. So squeezing our glutes, pushing through our heels and lifting those hips up to the ceiling as high as they'll go or as strong as your foundation is. So if you start to rock side to side, like rocking the boat, or your knees are wiggling, then you're up too high. Come down lower. Inhale, exhale, push through your heels. Those shoulder blades are gonna go into the back of into the mat. And then just going up and down at your own pace. Maybe hold for about like 1 or 2 seconds at the top, slowly coming down. We're gonna try to get about 10 in here, and we're gonna go into those 4-4-4s with this next. And then of course, followed by pulsing, everybody's favorite. Really focusing on having a good foundation. I want nice, strong knees. When we do hip bridges, we want to have our knees locked in so that they're in line with our hips and our ankles. We don't want them rocking side to side. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. Come back down. You can adjust your feet so you can pull your heels towards your glutes or scoot your glutes down towards your heels. Beautiful job. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to go up for 4. Inhale, exhale, up, 2, 3, 4, and hold and squeeze. 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. Beautiful job. Inhale, exhale, and up. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Inhale, exhale, and up. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, exhale, squeeze and engage that pelvic floor up. 2, 3, 4. Squeeze and drive those shoulder blades into the ground. 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. Last time. Inhale, exhale, up. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4. Good job. Go ahead and give yourself a little bit of a break. You can wiggle those hips if you want. For pulsing today, we're going to go to the top of our bridge. So you're going to go up as high as you can, again, comfortably with a strong foundation. And then to pulse, we're going to just squeeze our glutes together to get a nice little push of the pelvic floor towards the ceiling, about 1 to 2 inches. Adjust your heels and your glutes if you need to. Inhale. Oh, one note. Notice where your feet are pointing. If your feet are pointing out, you actually want your feet to point, be in line with your knees. So have your toes facing kind of down the line of your body. So down and away. Don't angle them out 45 degrees. So just notice your feet. I noticed mine moved on that last one. All right, engage that core. Inhale, exhale, push those pelvic floor up. Find the top of your bridge and begin pulsing. And if it starts to if you find any pain or anything like that, go ahead and move that bridge down. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come down. Take those hands out to a T, palms facing down, and then pretend that you have a zipper from your big toe to towards your glutes. Drop your knees towards your left, and I want you to look towards your right. Making sure you're taking big breaths. Inhale and exhale. Good. Take those knees back up and take those knees and drop them to the right and look to the left. Good. Go ahead and come back to center. We're going to do some dead bug variations now. Some new, maybe not some new. So for dead bugs, we have our hands and fingertips at 90 degrees, basically pointing right up to the sky in line with our chest. Fingertips towards the sky, hands and arms fully extended. Our legs are going to come up to tabletop position. So for this one, I'm not going to have you zip your legs up. I want your legs to just be like hip width distance. So you're going to let those legs come up and just hover. And I have a nice slight knee bend in my legs. And right now, we're just hovering. We're engaging that core, using our core to lift those knees up. And our arms are just going to stay stationary. And we're just going to hold right now. So we're just holding that dead bug pose. Inhaling and exhaling and feeling our core engage in our lower abdomen and our obliques. Go ahead and push that tailbone and that lower back into the mat to make sure that you're really engaging that core. And we're holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back down. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Let's go back into that dead bug hold. We're just going to hold that position. My right arm is going to reach up over my head as my left heel comes down to touch the floor. And I'm going to come back up. Then my left arm's going to go out. My right heel is going to touch the floor. I'll come back up. So alternating dead bug touches back and forth, making sure you're engaging your core, pushing that lower back into the mat to make sure your core is engaged as you're alternating heel touches along with those arm movements at the same time. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, exhale, come back down. All right, this time we're going to do like a little bit of a version of open the gate and close the gate. If we were on all fours, a little bit like fire hydrant, but kind of opposite. But we're still going to start from that dead bug position. So inhale, exhale. We're going to go in that dead bug position. My arms are up straight, fingertips pointed. My knees are lifted off the ground into tabletop. You're going to take your right arm and your right knee and open your gate towards the right, exposing your inner thigh to the ceiling, and then coming back up to that dead bug position. Then you're going to take your left arm and left leg, opening the gate, and then closing the gate, coming back up to then do the other side. Now, if you need to stabilize yourself, you can put one foot down when you're doing the opposite foot. So this is opening and closing the gate, driving that pelvic floor towards the ground. Really engaging that core right now, making sure we're breathing. For 5, just go back and forth. 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and relax. Excuse me. I don't have water at the moment, but I need some. We're going to do dead bug again. This time we're going to fully extend our legs. So instead of having a knee bent in our dead bug, we're actually going to have our legs fully extended out as we bring that foot out. So I'll kind of explain it as we do, but inhale, exhale, you're going to go into that dead bug position, fingertips facing the ceiling. My knees are up in tabletop. From here, if you're able, extend your legs fully out. And now extend your arms out over your head. So basically, I'm just hovering in like a reverse Superman. Instead of on my belly, I'm on my back. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring your right arm and right leg up to 90 degrees and then have it go back down and touch the floor. Then you're going to bring your left arm and left leg up to 90 degrees and then go back and touch the floor. Now, if you want to challenge yourself, keep everything hovering when you alternate sides. So hovering as you go ahead and bring that other side of your body up. And you're just breathing, drive that pelvic floor into the ground as that arm and leg come up. If you need to slightly bend your knee, that's okay. No worries at all. You're just alternating sides, really focusing on engaging your core. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Great job. We're going to do some reverse crunches here, just kind of with our hands relaxed, and then we're going to do an inner thigh leg lift. So that's kind of what's coming down the line. We have about 15 minutes left of class. Excuse me. So we're going to do reverse crunches. You can have your hands hovering on the ground if you want, like 5 inches at your side, palms facing down. You can also put your hands behind your head. Excuse me. Or your hands at your sides, whatever you prefer. You're going to lift those legs into tabletop position. You're going to bring your knees to your chest And then you're going to bring your heels down to tap the floor, and then you're going to come back up again. If you want to have a different challenge on your abs or work your lower abs, have less of a knee bend. You can extend those heels out and away. If you want to have just a different ab workout, it really requires a little bit more balance and stronger foundational in our core, but it also just works different abdominal muscles. So you can either have your knee bent and you can fully extend to tap your heels before coming back up to that tabletop position. And we're just going back and forth for that reverse lunge. Some people like to add in arm movements. You're welcome to crunch more with your upper body. Right now, I was just focusing on doing that reverse crunch, really driving my pelvic floor up, my lower back into the mat as I lift those knees. And what I'm paying attention to when I lift my knees up is where I'm actually lifting from. So I'm not lifting from my quads or my hamstrings, maybe a little bit, but really I'm tightening my core to bring my knees to my chest. And I'm keeping that core tight as I slowly bring those knees down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that is our reverse lunges. Beautiful job. Let's take those legs out nice and long. No knee bend. You're going to take your right leg and you're going to swing it out about 45 degrees. Like a clock. You're just going to swing it out. I want you to turn your inner ankle towards the ceiling. So pronate your foot or turn your foot out so that your ankle is exposed to the ceiling. And this is where we're going to lift from. We're going to lift from our inner thigh and our ankle, the inside of our calf. So engage your core, push that lower back towards the mat, and go ahead and lift from your inner thigh and your ankle up towards the ceiling. You can go as high as you're comfortable and as strong as your foundation is. And we're just lifting to get that nice inner thigh workout. You can also swing your leg out wider into more of like a straddle stretch if that gives you more, if it's harder for you to kind of do that movement or makes you feel it more. So big thing is just keeping that ankle turned out for a nice inner thigh leg lift. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Go ahead and shake that leg out. Take that left leg, swing it out into like a straddle stretch. Expose that ankle up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Drive that ankle up to the ceiling and then slowly come back down. Good. Reaching that ankle up. Good. Driving that lower back into the mat. Beautiful job. Really lifting from the inner thigh and the ankle. Being intentional about where that's coming from. Engaging that lower abdomen. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. Heels together. So we're going to put our heels together so that our knees are out nice and wide, just like a butterfly stretch. And we're going to just do some crunches from here. For this one, I want you to have your hands just like you do in dead bugs. So I want you to put your hands up in the air and your fingertips pointed towards the ceiling. When you lift up to crunch and your legs just stay in that butterfly stretch, I call these frog crunches. I think I might have made that up or I saw it somewhere. I'm not sure. You're going to lift those fingertips up towards the ceiling. You're not going to lift towards your toes. You're going to lift up. And I want you to try to get as much of your chest and back off the ground as possible. So my legs are in that butterfly position. Heels are together. I'm pulling those heels towards my glutes. Arms are up, fingertips facing the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Lift my shoulders and chest up towards the ceiling. Hold for maybe a second. Slowly come back down. Go ahead and go at your own pace. But you're lifting up. You're trying to get those fingertips towards the ceiling. It's a slightly different move than actually crunching towards your toes, which I will do the opposite of this in just a moment, or we will. But we're just focusing on lifting up. And I want you to pay attention to where in your abdomen you feel these crunches. Good. Make sure we're breathing. You can also push those heels together to keep that foundation nice and strong. Also, when you tighten everything when you're working out, you're giving it just a little extra oomph. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come back down. Good. Now this time, I want you to crunch towards your heels. So you're going to put your hands at your sides, or sorry, no, I lied. You're going to put your hands behind your head, elbows nice and wide, and you're going to crunch your nose towards your heels. Inhale, exhale, crunch your abs and pull your nose towards your heels. And I don't really mean literally pull. I don't want you to pull on your neck. Just point your nose towards your toes as you crunch. And I want you to see now where you feel that differently in your abdomen and in your abdominals. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. In this position still, again, you can press your feet together or pull your heels towards your glutes. Let's place our hands at our sides. So we're going to do heel touches, but instead of heel touches, we're going to push our fingertips towards our knees or under our knees. So a little oblique work. So I want you to inhale, and as you exhale, lift your chest off the ground and let your hands hover about 5 inches at your side, palms facing down. Now reach your left abdomen, your left fingertips towards your left knee. Crunch really hard, squeeze for like 2 seconds. Come back to center, still hovering, still holding my shoulder blades off the ground, looking straight up at the ceiling, and bring that right hand towards my right knee, crunching and holding for 2 seconds to do some quote unquote heel touches, or in this case, knee touches, as we're crunching side to side, focusing on really squeezing our obliques in that nice straddle, or in that nice butterfly stretch position. So really just giving our obliques one more mini little workout. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and take those feet out long and go ahead and just shake your legs. Give your hip flexors a little bit of a break. You can shake your arms too. So we're going to do 2 minutes of abs your way, which is my favorite way to end core stability. And so I'll tell you every 30 seconds if you want to mix it up for what abs you're going to do. I'll throw out some ideas. You can do standard crunches. You can do sit-ups. You could do V-ups. You could do butterfly crunches, like we just did. Bicycle crunches. You can keep your feet straight at a 90-degree angle. You can do more leg lifts. So anything you want. I want you to think about what you're going to do first, or if you're going to stay the same for 2 minutes. It is 2 minutes straight. Take breaks as you need to, and I'll tell you when 30 seconds has passed. All right, inhale, exhale. This is the last 2 minutes of hardcore abs or core stability, and then we'll just do a little bit of a cool down. Inhale, exhale. Hopefully you weren't inhaling that whole time, and begin. And we're just doing crunches. I'm starting with just standard crunches with my arms crossed across my chest, lifting my elbows up to the ceiling. I'll often like to not put my hands behind my head because I'll start to pull on my neck when I get tired. So I try to find ways in which I'm not actually putting my hands behind my head. And so just my arms are crisscross on my chest, and I like to lift my elbows towards the ceiling for a slightly different crunch, working my abs in a slightly different way. All right, we're 30 seconds in. If you want to switch up your exercise, go ahead. I'm going to do some bicycle crunches for 30 seconds. Good. About 15 more seconds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 30 more seconds on the table, and I'm going to do some sit-ups. This is where I'm going to try to sit all the way up towards my knees and then slowly come back down. Really important to always go up slow and come down slow, trying to keep your feet grounded in the ground and that lower back. We've gone about 1 minute and 15 seconds straight. And then in about 15 seconds, we'll switch to our last 30 seconds of abs your way. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds left for abs your way. Whatever way you'd like to go. You can push through it. We can do anything for 30 seconds. Just making sure we have really good stability and a really good foundation. Good. About 15 seconds left. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and sit up. We're going to go into a straddle stretch. So sit up and have your feet nice and wide. So we can do a little bit of a cool down here. Feet nice and wide. You can point and flex your toe. Kind of just give yourself a second to orient to back to sitting up because we were on our backs for about like 25 minutes. Good. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands up over your head and reach towards the sky. Inhale and exhale. Slowly come down into that fold with your hands out nice and wide in front of you and reach those fingertips towards the floor. I want you to look down between your hands, or if you're really flexible, you can lay down between your hands. Just depends on everyone's flexibility. I'm definitely not laying down. My head is kind of hanging between both arms. I'm going to walk those fingertips towards my right foot. My right foot is going to grab my toes or your ankle or your shin, wherever that's most comfortable. You can flex those feet. And then take that left hand and reach it over your left ear, over your head, towards that right foot to get a nice oblique stretch because we worked our obliques a lot today. And we're just inhaling and exhaling. Good. All right. Walk those hands over towards your left foot. My left foot's going to pull on, or my left hand's going to pull my left toes back. I'm going to take my right arm, reach it over my head, my right ear, and stretch to the left. You can let your head hang. You don't have to keep it up and straight. You can just let it hang so it can stretch a little bit. Good. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. I want you to place your hands behind your glutes. So almost just like you're leaning back, your legs can still be in that straddle stretch. And from here, I want you to look up to the ceiling. You can even bend your elbows a little bit. I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together and press your chest towards the ceiling. And press your belly up towards the ceiling, pushing your pelvic floor or your glutes down towards the mat. So getting a stretch in that upper abdomen. Our chest, and as you breathe, you can just feel where it expands and contracts to get a nice little stretch in. Good. Inhale, exhale, come back to center. Good. We're gonna stand up now. So take your time standing up. Good. We're just going to walk in place for a second and just kind of end the way we started, if you will. So just walk in place a little bit. You can kind of shimmy everything out, shimmy your muscles a little bit. Good. And we're going to do 3 forward folds. Inhale, exhale, bring those hands up overhead. Reach out away from the body, starting at your tailbone, going vertebrae by vertebrae, hinging at the hip and coming down to touch those toes. Inhale, exhale, slowly come back up. Good. Inhale, exhale, hands go up overhead. Reach away, slowly coming down into that forward fold. You can bend those knees. I'd like you to grab either elbow this time and then press those elbows towards the ground. Letting that head hang, shake your head yes, shake your head no. Inhale, Exhale, slowly come up and just shake your body a little bit. Shake off anything that's like excess. And our last forward fold is going to be that swan dive. But remember, we don't dive and leave our feet. We don't dive our hands physically into the ground, maybe more metaphorically, if you will. You're going to inhale, exhale, bring hands up over your head. Place one hand on top of the other. And just like you're about to go on the diving board, but your feet are going to stay glued to the mat, dive those hands forward into a forward fold for a nice swan dive, forward fold. One fluid motion. Inhale, exhale, come back up. You can make two muscles. Give your right muscle a kiss, give your left muscle a kiss, or you can give yourself 3 pats on the back. You can choose. It was a great workout today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for Core Stability.